All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday live show, and we have a special guest for the first time since we revamped the show. We have Unip Slip
Oh no,
with us here today. His link will be in the description. He goes by Nipslip is his actual name. He is a Twitch streamer. So if you're into that kind of thing, you can go check him out. Again, his link's in the description.
Or you can call him David, too.
Yeah,
David, yeah, but Unip is his favorite. Unip Slip Oo. So if you want to check him out, again,
I don't know why I told you that.
Yeah, you should not have. Right, Louis?
Yeah, no, you don't tell Kenny things.
Louis, that's right.
Yeah.
You've been calling him Louis lately. Yeah.
His wife hates it.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your streaming and whatnot? I don't know.
Yeah, tell us what you do and.
I tend to stream games that are extremely popular. Like
Why would you
like
not? Yeah.
I mean, I don't really stick to like the underground games or like the indie games. I try to do the like Rocket League is huge. It's like for the esports community, it's pretty big right now.
It looks like a lot of fun too.
Yeah, it's pretty challenging. I mean, I suck at it, but it's pretty challenging. I do a lot of Overwatch, which I know Pete was explaining to you what Paladins is. Overwatch
Right.
is kind of like Paladins came off of Overwatch.
Right.
So and that they just released a it's called Overwatch League, and it's massive right now. They've got a Houston team, a Dallas team, and a concurrent of like 500,000 people watch this every week, 3 times a week.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Are you
So
going to try
I've
to
been-
make it?
No, I suck at that game too. I suck at video games. I just like streaming them, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than that, I do some like FPSs like Call of Duty, obviously, you know, and just more along the lines of like whatever you see on top of Twitch or like YouTube that people are watching, that's what I try and involve myself in is those type of
So you do like
games, yeah.
Fortnite and PUBG?
There's just too many big name streamers to stream that game. I mean,
Right.
Yeah. I was really into PUBG. I was actually in the alpha of PUBG.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means.
Way before it becomes like beta, where people can actually test it. You have to get like keys, and you only get keys from knowing devs and like other streamers who get access to the alpha. And what the alpha is like they're testing out like jump mechanics, shooting mechanics, all that stuff,
wow.
and improving the game basically by the feedback of people who are playing in the alpha. And then they release the beta and so on and so on. But yeah, I was in the alpha of PUBG, and where that game was to where it came from is insane because it looked like dog shit. Like it was like so bad. But then it released, and then it released on console, and then it just ruined it for everybody.
Interesting.
So, yeah, console
Why?
because like on PC, if you've got a good PC, you have a good graphics card, you're getting great frames. Like the stream is what you would see on console. It's capped at 30 frames per second, and if you're on a good PC, it goes up to like 144.
Holy shit.
And like being smooth and everything, it's way better on PCs.
Right.
So I'm trying to convince everybody to game on their PC. But yeah.
Right.
So why does gaming on a console ruin it for everybody else?
Well, the thing is, I'm pretty sure that PUBG is cross-platform.
Oh, so
So-
people on Xbox can...
Xbox can play with PC players, and then I'm not 100% sure because I haven't played PUBG on console, but I'm pretty sure that there's aim assist for controllers. So instead of me being like over here and I press ADS like to lock or to aim down my sights, it'll lock onto the person's head rather than with a keyboard and mouse. You actually have to have some
bit of
sort of
accuracy.
skill to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I love aim assist. I use it all the time.
Me too, man. Whenever I played on Xbox a long time ago, because I came from Xbox,
Right.
and I thought I was like hot shit, and then I'd come over to PC, I'm like, oh my god, I'm bad.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. So I pretty much play those, the popular games.
Right.
Like there's a lot of games coming out that I am extremely excited for, like Red Dead Redemption. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That
the
one's coming
original
out.
was awesome.
Yeah, dude. So, and the second one's coming out. Far Cry is supposed
Far
to
Cry
be.
5?
Yeah, it's supposed to be based in America
Yeah,
this time.
in
So
Montana.
that's super cool.
Super Americana. It's like a
yeah.
cult leader, and you're going into Montana to like
Yeah.
depose the cult leader.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And then there's one that I've been playing. It's in beta form right now. It's pre-released for beta, and it's going to come out in like 8 days. David without a hat. It's one of my viewers. It's called Sea of Thieves. and basically all you are is a pirate, and it's multiplayer. But this is also cross-platform too.
This has been up on Twitch, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
yeah.
It's multiplayer, and basically you're a pirate, and you're sailing
fucking
around in a ship,
cool.
and you actually have to like control the sails and whatnot. And you know, since it's cross-platform, if you have an Xbox, you can play with your buddy on PC. And it's really cool though, because you can go hunting for treasure. You know, you can do whatever you want. You can battle other ships.
Yeah.
It is the coolest thing, dude. And you can talk in pirate speak and like dress up, put makeup on, you know, do the whole thing, you know.
Do you like get your friends to like crew the ship with you?
Yeah, dude, yeah.
That's awesome.
So we're like, oh my god, there's a ship on our starboard side, and we start freaking out and just like, load the cannons, hurry up. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds
been a
like
ride.
a lot of fun.
It does. Yeah, he's like been wanting to get into games.
Yeah, I'd like to, but
He's got a computer for it.
I don't have the time.
Yeah. He
You
says
know,
play Airsoft
you
instead.
say that, but like honestly, what you're saying is you don't have the time to get good at those games.
Oh,
'Cause
I'm
you can,
fantastic at video
Like,
games. I'm a natural born skilled video gamer.
then you got time to.
I don't. I have 2 kids.
I mean, 30 minutes,
a job.
one match of PUBG,
Plays
and you're good.
Airsoft on Sundays.
If you're as good as you say you are, you could just go one match PUBG, win the game, and you'd be like, all right, that's it.
Yeah. I guess. Yes. I wouldn't want to embarrass people, you know, make people feel shitty.
Right, yeah.
No shame in losing to the best, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I'm a destroyer of hopes and dreams, so I don't want to be crushing people for an hour every day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well,
I'll start streaming on Twitch and I'll have 1 million concurrents tomorrow.
there you go. Become a partner, get your 80% cut.
Yeah,
I'm the
absolutely.
best there ever was. At every
You're gonna
video
steal all my
game.
viewers now.
Yep. All right, guys, let's check in chat. What's going on? Moto Guy 710, Almighty Drewski, Ramel, what's going on? The Kirby Cat, Vapor Swaggins, yep. E-Park. Thanks everybody for being here, and everybody who's watching the replay, welcome. Thank you so much. So how about YouTube now replays the chat for everybody who's watching the replay, which I think is a fantastic feature. We no longer have to throw it up on the screen for you guys to be able to see what's going on in chat. I think that's awesome. I think that's really awesome. So you guys can follow along like that when we're interacting in chat. A couple things, couple updates, guys. Leviathan is released. We now have MePods on the website if you want to check those out. And we now have
How small it is.
it's so small.
It doesn't do it justice on the website. You're like, oh, it's like a regular one.
Yeah, it's
You
good.
know?
I got
no,
hold of
it's so
it.
much smaller.
And then it comes in the mail. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It's such a unique little mod though, because you can like rip it at a 6 or you can rip it at a 24 or 50. It's crazy.
Yeah, the new ones come with these little airflow stops in them, so that way you can shut off the airflow even more to make it better for the mouth to lung hit.
Yeah, it's a really well designed, well put together mod. I have a review on it if you want to check that out. Also, we've been asking you guys for your suggestions for topics for the live stream. Make it really easy for you guys. There's a link in the description to a forum. Really simple. One question, one entry. What kind of topics or segments, whatever, that you'd like to see on the live stream so we can make it better for you. So if you have a minute, you have a suggestion, go fill that out. We'd love to know what you guys would like to see. And you can leave them in the comments too on the replay if you want to not do the form. But the link's in the description. We'd really appreciate you guys helping us out with topics and things like that.
Do you ever do like live builds? Like a
Not in a while.
No?
Not since I moved down here. That's what I use. My live streams were live builds.
Because that's
We're
like the
gonna get back
perfect
into
angle
that.
for it. Is that one right there?
Yeah, so we're working on setting everything up, and so with the builds, being able to move the camera around is the tough part, because like as you go down, I want to make sure I have a good macro shot and be able to move it as I go. So we actually think we have a solution for that, so we're going to work on that in the next couple weeks. So I don't know if that'll be like a pre-recorded segment that I'll play, or if I'll do it. We're still working out the details. Build tutorials are done. We're not doing them anymore. No, we are. They're just
They're a lot of work.
Yeah, they're labor intensive and time consuming. So we're going to get to them. I just have such a backlog of devices to go through because of the move. I wasn't able to do anything for a few months. So we're super backed up, working through some of the older stuff. Once we get caught up, then we'll be able to move into some builds and some newer stuff. I actually have a lot of stuff coming in, so we're going to try to get to that as soon as possible. Like today, you know, we're doing the mesh tank versus the Falcon, and you're going to get 3 people's opinion on this tank. You don't like crispy treats, unfortunately. I just filled it with crispy treats. I was going to use that and I forgot about it.
It's all right. Well, I know what crispy treats taste like, so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and rocking, of course, the badass Pokeball.
Yeah, and because you hate it so much, it'll taste like even more shit for you. Because the flavor's so good on it. Same with the Falcon. I don't know if we should do side by side, or we can throw some Abyss in it and really try to get some great flavor out of that. Let's actually talk, because I haven't done... Well, if you want to know more about the mesh tank, I have a full review that I just released last week. Yeah, or this week. Monday? No, that was Dead Rabbit.
Yeah.
Mesh was last week.
It was last Friday.
Yeah, so you can check out my review on that. So I'm going to kind of just gloss over the mesh, assuming that you actually watch my videos. If you don't, you're an asshole. So we're going to kind of cover some of the bullet points about the Falcon. And right now it's empty. And I wanted to kind of talk about some of the coil options that you get with the Falcon. You can see in this pack alone, there are, I think this is kind of like a sample pack, sample all the coils. So I don't know if when you buy extra coils, if it'll be like, you know, you just get these ones, or I'm not really sure. But as I said, this is a sample pack. So here are the different options. We have a wood pulp and cotton coil at 0.2 ohms, 80, so 70 to 90 watts recommended. Flax fiber wicking material at 0.2, and flax fiber and flax paper at 2. And then we have a mesh coil with wood pulp and cotton, and I'm really interested to take a look at that because I think that would be a good one to stack up against the mesh tank, because they're both mesh. Mesh is great. I'm a huge, let's see if we can get you a look at that. You can sorta see in there. Big fan of the mesh coil. I thought it was going to be super gimmicky, but it turns out they're freaking awesome. And this one has, wait, what was this one? The mesh one? Mesh coil, wood pulp, and cotton for wicking. And there's a lot of buzz and a lot of hype about these coil heads. And from what I've experienced so far, I haven't spent a ton of time with these, but they're pretty amazing. I haven't tried the mesh coil yet, so we're going to try that one right now. What are you vaping on the Abyss? The 6? 3?
3 milligram.
Perfect place to start. All right, so there's the mesh, and then we have a bunch of different... I like how many options they offer for wicking. You can see this one. I think this is the flax paper and flax fiber. You can see that dark. I don't know if you can really see it that well. Yeah, sort of. Around that coil, it's flax paper, and then the actual outside is made of flax fiber. And flax is supposed to be a very efficient wicking material, so I don't know. We'll see. In the full review, I'll go through all the different coils, but for now, we're going to attack the mesh. And to get it started, I'm going to just pre-saturate this coil. I'll replace this for you.
Can you explain something for me?
Sure.
What's with the wood pulp?
It's just another wicking. All right, so wood pulp is pretty much paper pulp.
Yeah.
And it's just another wicking material.
Other than
cotton.
Oh, really?
Yep. Cotton's kind of a standard right now. And so I guess they're experimenting with different... flax has been around for a little while now. It was... The first I heard about it was a few months ago.
Yeah.
Probably like 6 or 7 months ago. It takes a long time to saturate, but once it gets going, it wicks much more efficiently than cotton.
Oh.
So
just
faster,
like quicker and just...
Faster,
Yeah.
Yep. Which means less likely dry hits.
Burn out faster?
I don't know.
Oh.
I haven't spent a lot of time with them, so I'm not really sure. So let's see. This is wood pulp and cotton mix. We'll see how well this saturates. Whoa, right through the bottom. Jesus. Good thing I have paper towel down there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, dude! Trust me, I've got like so much vape juice on my mouse pad.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's like sliding around in goop.
I like buy $10 long mouse pads, man. I replace them like every 3 or 4 months because it just gets so disgusting.
How long have you had that vape, Matt?
A long time.
Yeah.
This is wicking extremely fast, especially for right off the rip. I'm very impressed with how quick that's wicking. Normally, the juice will sit there for a while before it soaks in. Now this is like almost all the way saturated.
Wow.
All right,
Wonder how it really even need to sit, really.
We're going to find out. All right, so I'm going to install this. Real simple, in case you haven't really played with the sub-ohm tank. After you saturate it, you just stick it back in the base. I'm going to wipe my hands because they're covered in juice. And then you take the top and try to pop it back on. There we go. And you don't have to go crazy tightening this down. If I can even get it in. What the hell's going on here? Why can't I get this in?
Is the glass sitting in enough on the...
Probably not. I guess I'm just going to have to push harder. There we go. All right. So that's it. Now to fill the Falcon, you just untwist and you've got 2 big kidney holes. And to contrast that, I'm covered in juice. There we go. To the mesh tank, you can see the differences here between the two. That one's pretty much completely wide open and it's recessed, and this one's almost it's flush with the top and has 2 smaller kidney holes, which really either way they're going to both work the exact same. And we're just going to fill this guy up. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that this is ready to go right off the bat. What I like too about the placement of the wick holes on the Falcon is that they're really low, which means you're going to have less of a chance to get a dry hit. Unlike, let me put the cap on, I'll show you in comparison to the mesh tank, the FireLuke mesh. And I guess I'll put this one on too. Wow, that's like a half a turn and it's on. All right, so if we take a look this way, you can see in there-ish how low the Falcon wick holes, cotton holes are compared to the mesh. And really, you want to fill a sub-ohm tank as soon as the juice gets down into the cotton, because you're going to be way more likely to start getting dry hits when you're down into the cotton. So you can see how much lower the Falcon is as opposed to the mesh tank. So that's another thing to consider. Let me get this out of the way. And yeah, so after we talk about the Falcon and the mesh tank, we're going to talk about the Pokeball mod and what our opinions are on this. It's a 40 or 80 watt mod, so we'll get into that in a minute.
That is literally the only thing you're allowed to vape on while you're playing Pokemon Go.
Yep.
Like,
People still play Pokemon Go?
I don't know.
Probably.
I'm not gonna lie, I spent like $80 on that game, and now I'm like, what did I spend $80 on that game for?
All right, so we have them both all set up, and yeah, so they're different flavors, but we all know what each flavor tastes like and what it's supposed to taste like, so it should be a really good comparison. I mean, we'll be able to tell if we get a lot of flavor or if the flavor is muted. So,
well, this is actually my first time vaping the Leviathan line, and it's got a little mix of YSO cereal in it too, so this will probably be like a a first for me
Oh,
on that pineapple. Yeah.
First real test.
Yeah, the first real test. Yeah.
So, as I suspected, it is 100% saturated. I had no cotton taste whatsoever. It was a great hit right off the bat. The coil came out to 0.2 on the dot, as it was supposed to. Let's put it at 80 watts. You good with 80 watts on a
80
sub
watts
ohm?
sounds good.
Abyss is a salted pineapple, like a grilled pineapple flavor profile. It's delicious. Really fruity, really pineapple-y, but not overbearingly sweet. It's really delicious.
Yeah, very fresh pineapple taste.
That's fucking awesome. I have it closed down. I don't know. Almost halfway, and even that's a little too much air for me. So this thing has a tremendous amount of air. You can get some good cloud off of this.
Yes, seems to be.
Oh my god, this thing's awesome.
Oh boy, you've been vaping on that FireLuke mesh for quite a while now.
Yeah, like 2 months.
What's your first-hand impression? What do you think?
Between the two?
Yeah.
It's close, but I think the Falcon might actually have it. The flavor is really bright. It brings out more notes than I knew there were in Abyss.
Yeah, I've been dripping Abyss, and this tastes better than me dripping it.
Yeah, it's super clean. The hit's fantastic. The airflow is exactly the way I like to vape. It's hot. It's smooth but turbulent at the same time.
Yeah, it's that big button.
Yep. And you can adjust the wattage if that's too much. Like, make it comfortable for how you like to vape.
That's a 3 milligram too.
Oh, that tastes really good.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my god, that's really good.
So then in comparison, we'll also pass down the mesh tank with the crispy in it. I love this tank. I think the flavor is fucking awesome. I actually had my replacement coils here at the office, but we couldn't find them. So I'm using a used coil. It's broken in and it's even been sitting for a couple days and the flavor is still fantastic. I actually just switched this out. My previous coil had lasted about 2.5, 3 weeks of me ripping on it all day, every day. So this coil lasts forever. Unfortunately, I don't know how long those coils last. Well, actually, Austin's been using this tank since ECC. He got it. And when we sat down to do this, that coil is brand new. So he had it for, oh man, how long has that been? A month?
Yeah, it's been a month.
So he used the same coil for a month.
He's
Granted,
not quite as avid a vapor.
right. He doesn't vape as intensely as Lewis and I, but I mean, a month of steady usage, that's really great out of a sub-ohm coil. Yeah. I don't know what coil he was using, though.
You know,
between them.
You know what's really interesting, though, is I think we had a conversation the other day about the attack. Like, with that throaty hit.
Right.
And you're right. Like, because I'll vape 3, and it feels like, because I vape all the time. Like, I stream 10 hours, 12 hours maybe.
Holy shit.
And the entire time, like, depending on what game I'm playing, like, in between every play of Rocket League, I'm taking, like, 1 or 2 hits and then putting it down. And it's like a nervous habit, right? So the next morning, I'll have that really, like, caked on, like, hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, dude, there's no way I'm getting that.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm getting that.
I sent you a 0 and a 3 just in case.
Yeah.
But
that's gonna be pretty good. Mm-hmm. I'm like actually excited
it's so
about
fucking
that.
Good, yeah. The whole line is delicious.
I kind of want to go Nixalt now, like, because if it's gonna do that,
right,
for me, I mean,
it's a lot cleaner, and the flavor's way better.
I've got this thing on my stream, like if somebody like donates or something like that, they earn points, right? And so one of my redeemable things is karaoke. And singing karaoke and vaping the entire night, it ruins your throat. Mm-hmm. And there's no way I can get that now.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing, dude. Yeah. I'm like thoroughly impressed by that line.
Cool.
And that's like the first real hit I've had from it. That's like really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That makes you really happy to hear.
It's really good.
For sure.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll
That's
get the script back from you later. I gotta say, I think I like that better as well.
Yeah.
The mesh is really nice. If you do like those like kind of turbulent vapes, it definitely kind of gives you a little bit of turbulence. The flavor is good on it.
What is this though?
I feel like that one's smoother, and I also feel like it's
Turn it down.
turn it down.
Well, just use it like that. That's like a third open. Yeah, so
Is this the pulp too?
no, I don't.
Because I kind of
think
feel like
so.
it's the cotton.
I think it's cotton. I don't know for sure, actually, to be honest with you.
Well, it's a different kind of turbulence.
Yeah.
Like that one's a lot more like extreme.
Yep.
This one feels a lot more like just like a cyclone or something.
Right.
This gives me that vibe of like the old school like vape pen kind of like vibe. You know what I'm talking about?
Like
the heat that comes off of it and everything.
Right.
No?
It is a hot vape.
Yeah.
It is a hot vape for sure. It hits more like an RDA than a sub-ohm tank. The mesh does. That one is just super smooth.
I think I'm gonna have to pick one of these up.
Yeah, they're fantastic. We should have ordered.
What
a
is this
bunch
called now
the
again?
other day.
The Falcon?
Yeah, the
Falcon.
Falcon. Who's it by?
Horizon Tech.
Horizon Tech, yeah. It was funny, like we went to their booth at ECC and compared to some of the insane booths, their booth was like fairly modest.
Very modest.
Yeah. And
Tucked away on the wall.
Yep.
Yep.
And they just had this banging tank that they were sitting on.
Like really clean. There's like no comparison between the two.
I'm
I
going
don't know
to
if it's the
say
deuce or the coil, but it's like that's super clean.
it's so clean. It really is.
We're all just kind of in awe right now.
Yeah, it's absolutely delicious. So I would say that the Falcon is a little bit better. Comparatively, so I feel like depending on how you like to vape, you might like one better over the other. This one's going to be more turbulent for sure. It's going to hit more like an RDA. So if you like a more intense hot vape, you might want to check this guy out. Now, all right, so this is not variable wattage either.
In all fairness.
Yeah. So maybe we should run them both at 80 watts.
Yeah, we should try it on that one.
Can I get your Revenger X?
Mm-hmm. I just have this at 85.
They're both Vaporesso mods. We have the Switcher and the Revenger X. They both have the same chipset in them, so it's going to be very, very similar.
It feels like if you're like just used to smoking cigarettes, like that would be what you would want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a vape dream right there.
Yeah.
Like it's like I said though. I mean, how long is it gonna last? Is the question as well.
The coil heads, right?
Yeah, because I mean, mine last for maybe 4 days. The way I vape three at the very least.
Get out of here. Dude, slow down.
you were saying about how much you guys vape, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you.
I work at a
understand.
vape company where I can vape at my desk all day and I don't go through coils that fast.
Yeah, I mean it's
That's
nuts,
different.
dude.
See,
It's
the
definitely
flavor
different.
comes out at high wattages.
Right. I still
God, I love that.
think I like this better though.
We should have done flavor to flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, we should just put Crispies in this.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that tastes, I'm down with doing both of those.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
That
I mean,
guy,
like, Crispies used to be one of my like go-to flavors,
Me too.
and then I realized there was more with Hometown, and then I
Right.
was like, well, let's try out like Sun Drops, and then Sun Drops became my flavor, and then I think I actually had somebody recently who was like, "You like Sun Drops for real?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Dude, yes, it's so good."
It's so weird, man. Like people either love it or they hate it.
Well, I mean, it's South. I mean, it's Texas,
Right.
You know, and people like their tea,
Right,
so
right.
I'm like, let's try it. You know, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Worked out.
Ugh. I can't even stand to smell Sun Drops.
Oh my god, this smells so good too. I'm like having a full-on experience here with the new flavor. It's so good,
Yeah.
and it really comes across as like grilled pineapple. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Were you saying the
I gotta
Falcon?
go.
Were you saying the Falcon coils are more expensive than the mesh coils, than the FireLuke?
Let's take a look. The FireLuke coils are one of the best valued sub-ohm coil heads ever. I got a 5-pack for $15, and comparatively, for the Vaporesso coil heads for the Cascade tank, which is another pretty great flavor tank, they are, I think, around $5 each. So, you know, they're much more affordable and they last quite a long time, like at least 3 weeks of constant vaping. All right, so
What is this?
Falcon.
This is at 80. Do
Yeah.
you mind if I put it on mine?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
What was the tank that you were using for a while? What would you call that thing?
Oh, the Cascade
The
tank.
Cascade. That was your favorite flavor tank for a while, wasn't it?
For a while, yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
All right, so here we go. All right, the Falcon coil heads. Let me see the different. Yeah, they're all the same price for whichever coil you want to choose between the different types. You're looking at between $14 and $18 for 3 of them. Pricey coil head, depending on how it lasts, would be one of the main factors in my decision if I was going to buy it or not.
Right.
But the flavor and the performance,
But the question is it so much more and better flavor than this thing?
No.
That's the thing, right? That's
No.
kind of, yeah.
No, in my initial opinion, I haven't used the Falcon enough yet to know. I'm going to spend probably the next 2 weeks rocking it, and we'll take a look at it after that, and I can do my review then.
Yeah, do a full review.
I mean, it's better than $7 a coil.
Yeah,
Right.
Pay $7 a coil for.
What is this one?
The Cloud King.
The Cloud King?
What is that, Smock?
Yeah.
Fuck Smock.
I mean, you're
No, I don't
selling me on this one, to be honest with you, because it's really good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's check.
Yeah, cheaper coil heads.
Let's
too.
check the prices on the Falcon, right?
Oh, we
Against
just did
just the coil
the
heads.
FireLuke.
Yeah, like the actual device price.
And it saves me in battery too, because it's kicking off the same amount. But I normally run this at like 170.
What, seriously? 170? Holy crap.
I mean, depending on which one it is, because
Yeah.
they've got the 6 coiled one,
Right.
and then they've got like the one,
Right, right.
and then the one I'll do like at 130 or 140.
Okay.
But this one's going at 170.
Right.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny. Have you
insane.
noticed how much juice this thing has gone through already?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
All these new tanks that wick really well and give really great flavor suck juice down.
Yeah. I mean, I hate like big, huge tanks just because of like, they're too clunky. I don't know. But at the same time, it's like, I kind of would be willing to give a couple more,
Or have a
centimeters or
bubble
millimeters.
tank.
Right, or a bubble tank, yep.
There is another point that can be brought up. The juice capacity is different. The Falcon has a bigger juice capacity. And getting into price, we have, for the Falcon, you're looking at between $35 and $40 some for the tank. The FireLuke mesh, you can get that one for around 28. And then, so the value is better. You've got better value there with the FireLuke. So, I don't know. It's a tough call.
Yeah.
It's a really tough call.
Yeah, because I feel like if I was vaping like you were on your stream, you would have to, every single time a match ended in Rocket League, refill your tank.
That's why I told you I'm super partial to the squeeze bottles.
Oh, right. Yep.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes I'll be there, and then I'm like dripping as fast as I can. The match starts. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, sorry
Totally
guys,
blow it for your team.
I was I was refilling. It's more important right now. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. I just like a nervous tick. I think that's why I stick to the lower nicotine, because I'm vaping a lot more.
Right.
But like I said, this is super clean too, and I'm not gonna have that choke at the end of the night. You know, it's
Right. Do you
So-
feel like satisfied? Like, do you feel like you're getting your nicotine?
sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Like I haven't had that that the typical head rush or like the
Right.
feeling of needing nicotine and
Do you like a
forever.
throat hit when you hit it? Like as you vape, a throat hit?
Not really. No.
You're going to love that then.
Yeah.
What, this one?
It has a very mild throat hit because of the next salt.
I honestly don't even get a throat hit out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all flavor.
Oh, you know what? That brings up a weird point too. Well, for me, is that whistle.
Oh, yeah.
That whistle.
Both
This
of these
one is
tanks.
extremely loud as well.
That's one thing that I try and cut down is like the most, because with my microphone's right here,
Right.
and to try and get like the best quality I can. And I can't tell you how many friends I have that vape on our Discord, that all you hear is, and
Right.
it's kind of out there. It's kind of it gets annoying.
Right. This
And I
one
wouldn't want to be
also-
that person, but it's still.
Yeah, this one also kind of has a little bit of a whistle.
Open it
Yeah.
all the way up and hit it. See what the air is like.
Yeah.
All right.
Still
so
kind of loud.
Here's the FireLuke.
That one's much quieter. It doesn't have that.
This one's louder.
Well, it doesn't have that higher pitch, because that
Right.
higher pitch will pick up in the microphone a lot better.
Right.
get down to the technical side of it.
It matters to people how loud it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if that's something, if you can't have a loud for whatever reason, I don't know why that would matter.
Hitting on the plane, you don't want the flight attendants to know.
Don't fucking do that.
Yeah,
don't
don't.
do that.
It was a joke, guys.
Jesus Christ. You have the worst jokes ever.
And before you get sued for saying you can hit it on a plane.
Yeah. So if you had to pick one right now to vape, which one would it be?
Oh, definitely this one.
Falcon.
Yeah,
I picked the
Falcon,
Falcon
yeah.
too.
I think I would as well.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I think it's just because that one burns a little bit too hot. I mean,
This guy?
like I said, maybe it's because it's on the Pokeball. Who knows?
I think it might have to do with the chimney or something because they're both running at 80 with the same chipset when we tried it on both of these.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the chimney, from the coil to the mouthpiece, you have more room, or a longer distance with the Horizon Tech Falcon. So, yeah, this one's going to be hotter.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so here's the thing. They both provide fantastic flavor. The FireLuke is cheaper and cheaper overall to keep using, to maintain. Flavor's really close, and so they vape differently. It's going to kind of almost be a toss-up and depend on how you like to vape. More turbulent, warmer vape, you might want to go with the FireLuke. I guess quieter, more high-pitched. They're both so fucking loud, so it's like...
Right, yeah,
louder.
but then again, you have to argue with the fact that whether how you vape too. If you
Right.
just let it fill up in your mouth and you breathe it in,
Right.
or if you're like really dragging on it, that
Right.
can make the difference as well.
Yep.
So I just realized that too. I rarely just super drag that in.
Right.
I normally just let it fill up and then breathe it in.
Right.
And this is only the mesh tank, or the mesh coil head.
Oh, yeah, we
we
haven't tried
still
the
have
round.
yet to try the rest of them.
Mhm. Oh, is this a sample pack of the coils?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yep.
Let me see. And this is $17.
For three of them, it'd be
It was
14 to 18.
I mean, like I said, it's better than the smog ones because
yeah, well, fuck
I'm
smog.
spending I'm spending like $25 depending on how much they want to mark it up at the the vape shop. So,
Right.
and the way I go
Definitely
through
better for
coils,
you.
it's just like it's insane.
Yeah. You're
So, I mean-
spending more money on that than cigarettes.
Well, they do. I do. And actually, I had somebody ask me that the other day because they were. Like I was telling you, they were talking about the little Mi Pod, and I was like, well, it kind of is more expensive,
Also depends on how you vape a
Yeah.
lot.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
but because I vape so often and so much,
Right.
it's more expensive for me.
Right.
I
right.
mean,
well, I mean,
without typing in the code word NIP20.
right.
That's
The Mi Pod though, so I don't vape this thing all the time. I do vape it when I'm driving, when I'm going out, that kind of stuff.
Same here.
I have not changed out this yet.
that's where I was going to add
Same
to. Is
here.
like that
Still
seems
on
like
my
it would be
first
cheaper.
coil.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. If someone's exclusively using this, actually, my wife has been using this thing pretty exclusively recently, and she hasn't changed out hers either.
I use mine all day at Airsoft.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I haven't changed it yet.
Yeah, I mean, so for him, you go through less juice with the nicotine salts too. Like, it probably would be cheaper than cigarettes for your friend.
Yeah. Well, my friend, he lives in the UK, and he rolls his own cigarettes. So it's like the cheapest you can get because he's rolling his own tobacco.
Right.
But then again, you argue the fact is, well, would you rather pay, let's just say $100 more a month in vape supplies, or would you rather have that negative side effect of smoking cigarettes?
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
And
the
with me,
cancer and-
with me, it's more along the lines of, I'll spend thousands of more dollars rather than
Right.
smoking cigarettes.
Right.
You
It's
know,
so
so-
much safer.
Yeah.
It's such a better alternative. For
And you can
him,
breathe better, too. It's
Yeah,
like-
it changes your whole world. You can
It
smell,
does, dude.
taste.
Yeah.
You can walk upstairs. Like
you can taste food better. It's
Yeah.
it's insane.
the first
You
when
guys
I
can walk upstairs?
I take the escalator. He's speaking for himself.
when I quit vaping, smelling coffee in the morning was an unbelievable experience. Because after smoking for so long, my sense of smell was just so dulled. I don't know if you guys had that too.
Yeah.
But then when I finally was clearing out and I would smell things coffee especially. It was so awesome. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, yes, this vaping shit's awesome.
Well, I have a culinary background, and like tasting food is a huge part of what I used to do. And when I stopped smoking, because I was working at a healthier style restaurant, and when I stopped smoking when I started there, and I started vaping, and I mean, just being able to breathe, I was able to work out. I was able to like completely change my lifestyle up because I stopped smoking.
Right.
And then so I started vaping, and then I noticed, me being able to jog or run on a treadmill or something like that, I could run for multiple miles rather than just 1 mile, and I have to take a break.
Right.
So
and you were like, wow, this food doesn't need all this salt anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, vaping's the shit. Way better than smoking.
But like I was saying though, is with that tank, it feels like that would be more along the lines of you feel that heat,
Right.
next to your mouth. That feels more or less like smoking a cigarette than the other tank did.
I would point your friend towards this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
With a 20 or 24 milligram Nick Salt juice, it'll last him forever. One $20 bottle. I mean, what's our Nick Salt? 18 or so?
It's
20,
it's 25.
25
for 50 milliliters
for
though,
50. Yeah,
as opposed
so
to the 30s.
that'll last you a long time because you
Right.
get so much nicotine out of this. It's satisfying. It's easier to hit.
And it's $10 for 2 replacement heads. And like I said, I haven't
They
even
last
changed mine out
forever.
yet. So
Well, I mean, even using that code word, on checkout,
What's that code word?
NIP20.
And you, what does that get you?
It gets you 20% off
Off your
entire order
at.
at hometownherovapor.com.
Wow, that's,
Yeah, it's insane.
That's a deal.
It's insane.
That's a deal.
But even getting that, it's like I think that's like $9 off with that coupon code. So you're looking at like a $40 vape for $30, and then that $9 you're saving, you get two of those replacements, and even with the juice, the 50 milliliters, you could still get X amount of money
it's
off.
set up for
setup.
more than a month.
He would be great.
I didn't
Yeah.
know we were doing that.
What?
The coupon with the device.
Oh, actually, I'm not sure if we are.
No, you are. I typed it in the website the other day when he was looking. I was like, it's for sure $8.99 he's gonna go.
All right.
So
well,
I mean,
there
if you want to change it, you might want to change it
Yeah,
soon.
that won't be happening tomorrow.
But even if not, that's you're talking about people who smoke cigarettes. That's like a pack a day, right? So I mean, he's well more off. Like it's healthier, and he's well off with the materials he needs for probably a month. Like
Right.
you said.
Yeah.
Like maybe even more a month, depending on how much he smokes.
Right, depending on how much
So-
he vapes, for sure.
And that's way cheaper than cigarettes,
Absolutely.
even if you're rolling them.
And he's English, so he's already got bad teeth. It's like it's a trade off. He's gonna his teeth are
will
better.
get better.
Yeah.
Overnight, like the Austin Powers movie.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so I think depending on how you vape, it would be either or, depending. If you get the chance to, here's what I would say: if you get the chance to try them both, like side by side, I recommend doing that. If you can't, maybe the Falcon, probably the Falcon. We'll see when I do my complete and an extensive review. One thing you can do though with the mesh tank that you cannot do with the Horizon Falcon is it has an adjustable 510 pin. So
Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen a sub-ohm tank do that.
I didn't actually realize this during. We'll talk about that. This fucking thing. Yeah, it has that adjustable 510 that you see, the flathead, and I can't take it apart now, but where the coil head meets the contact at the bottom is where that screws into, and you do have a little bit of room to pull that out a little bit if you want to. So I'm not going to say go ahead and use it on hybrid, but it's adjustable. And some mods, like I have an RX 200 that I still use, but the issue with it is that the pin, after so long, the spring's kind of shot and the pin doesn't have the same integrity that it did. So if I loosen this up a little bit, I can get this to fire on that. Something to consider. I don't know if that's going to make a big difference or not. But let's segue into this guy. So, yeah, this is, for those of you who don't know, this is a Pokeball from a cartoon where humans capture animals and make them fight each other.
Called pocket monsters.
Called pocket monsters. So they put
I think
them.
it's an anime, okay?
So they put animals in these little round cages and then make them fight each other. Is essentially what the plot of the show is. And this is the portable cage that they put them in. And yeah, so it's
In layman's terms, it's just like the perfect description. It's like Peter's gonna contact him now.
The show with the portable cages that they cast.
And they make him
essentially
fight
what
each
it
other.
is.
It's exactly what it is. I never heard anyone describe it that way. It's hilarious.
So this mod, I've got mixed feelings about it because it. Would you consider Pokemon a children's show? I know a lot of children.
I feel like it was a children's show for like 90s kids, and then it grew into like with the children, it grew up with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't really see a whole lot of children playing or like watching Pokemon. You see like.
You sure about that?
Like my age adults that are like playing Pokemon Go. You know what I mean? It's
right.
I think it's more along. They grew up with that generation kind of thing.
That's an interesting take on it, actually.
Because I mean, I watched Pokemon when I was younger. I mean, I grew out of that,
yeah.
but it's like there's still people that are I wouldn't say trapped, but
Is Pokemon still on TV?
I don't know. I think they're making movies. Actually, I think like the biggest and this was huge apparently, but like Pikachu was like the biggest. Pokemon. It was like Ash's Pokemon was never in a Pokeball. But apparently Pikachu almost died and they had to put Pikachu in a Pokeball. And like Pikachu spoke for the first time in like 25 years or something like that. Like it was huge. And all you saw in the theater was adults. And they're like yelling at the screen because Pikachu's not supposed to say human words. Okay, he's supposed to say Pikachu, and that's about it. So I feel like, but it was all adults. I mean, majority adults.
Okay,
I feel
so
like there's
Pikachu
still kids.
is the one animal slave that doesn't go in the portable cage, and it's mentally deficient and only repeats one word
Which is
repetitively,
Pikachu.
which is its name. So, that's what happens when you store animals in portable cages. They become mentally deficient.
I feel like it's Pokemon's that show that brings out the kid and the adults. You know what I mean?
Okay, so if you guys know about the culture of Pokemon, if kids are watching it these days, I had, just because it's a cartoon, I had made the assumption that they do. So I could be wrong.
I mean, there's still a lot of cartoons that.
Either way,
I
it's a
mean,
cartoon.
you think about there's different people like. There's people that like are like 50 and watch anime like all
That's
the
true.
time.
That's
so
true.
It's like.
What kind of person would watch anime as an adult? Come on. I don't know the type of people.
I'm
you
just
guys are
saying, I still
talking
watch
about.
Dragon Ball Z. That's on a rare occurrence, but it's like.
Yeah.
I don't know how many adults would be vaping off of a Pokeball though. Like on the real. I don't know if that's something I'd like just bring to a convention or something like that, or just.
Yeah, it's a novelty. for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It's a novelty.
I'm not gonna go out to the bar and be like, "Yo, guys, check out my Pokeball, dude." I straight gotta catch them all for real.
Well, I take this fat vape clap.
So it's definitely like I like it. I think it's cool. Like it's a cool thing to have on my desk. I personally like it for my own use. My concerns with it are, I think, fairly obvious. I'm acting under the assumption that a lot of children watch Pokemon because I believe it is on TV. I think I've seen it multiple
Diesel
times.
brings up a good point. Whether adults like Pokemon or not, the mod could appeal to kids.
And that's my concern.
Yeah, that is a.
That's my
true statement there.
major concern with this is it's kids are it does appeal to kids. At least I believe it
Well,
does.
especially if you're a parent and you vape on a Pokeball, that's going to appeal to your kids.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're watching you do this every day,
Right.
and then they're like, "Oh, that looks shiny and red and white," whether or not they watch Pokemon or not.
And then if they
You know?
do,
Yeah.
that's going to be
'Cause this-
ultra appealing.
Looks more serious than that does.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's like that looks more like a toy.
That's a digital cloud cannon. This is a toy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that seems more like along the lines of like, oh, I don't want to vape on this in front of my kids.
Right.
But like you said, like as far as a novelty item goes, and Yeah, for sure.
Well, Phoenix.
He knows what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows that. He called it a Pikachu ball. Or what did he call it? Something like that. Because I had brought it home to show Jess. Because I forget how one of the sales guys here had brought this back from a shop and given it to me. And so I had brought it home to show Jess. And my son happened to see it. And luckily, it didn't have a mod or a tank on it or anything. It was just the mod. And he was like, yeah, that's a Pokeball or whatever he called it. So my 3-year-old son, almost 4, recognized it.
Right.
So
yeah, absolutely.
that was when it really raised a red flag to me.
But the conflicting part is
I love it.
it actually performs really well.
Yeah, it does. All right, so yeah, let's talk about its performance. It has 2 modes, 40 watts and 80 watts. And it does not do anything other than that other than switch between the two. And I have it at 80 watts right now, running the mesh tank, and I kind of really love it.
Yeah, we were joking around when we threw it on there. We were like, haha, let's just throw this tank. Oh my God.
Yeah. When I first had it, I came out of my office. Lewis's desk is right over there. And I was like showing him, and I dropped it, and it like rolled all the way across the office. So
you know that feeling of horror that you get when you drop your mod?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but it just keeps going.
Yeah, it just kept on going. But it feels like the whole thing is metal, and it feels like a tank. It's super solid. It has an internal lipo in it, and you can see there's good ventilation here at the bottom. I wonder, you could probably pull it apart. There's a little screw right there. Maybe I'll...
Is that USB charged, or is it
It's USB, internally charged. I don't actually want to do a review on this, but...
Oh, you definitely should.
No,
you need to be dressed up as like Ash Ketchum and like try and capture Lewis with your Pokeball mod, dude. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'll have a mob of people in the comments section. I already will in this video.
The other thing is, I think this mod's been out for a very long time.
Yeah, it has. So I just wanted to show you guys, get your opinions. I'm really, really curious to know which side of the fence you guys are on. Do you think it's a cool novelty, or do you think it's really fucked up and markets to children? I think it's really irresponsible. I think things like this should not be made or even exist. But at the same time, like I've said, I like it as a cool novelty on my desk here. I don't bring it home or anything anymore. But it's cool to have. It's cool to like bullshit about. It's a fun little novelty. And it actually vapes pretty well. So, you know, that's kind of where I stand on it.
Yeah.
I think it's fun, but...
I like what Moto Guy said, though. Like if you reviewed it, don't like I'd say like put your opinion on it and be like, this isn't cool. But
right.
you know what I mean? Like review it and be like how it is as a mod itself,
right?
But then also put a disclaimer on it, like that you don't agree with they should have done that.
Yeah. Did you watch our toy car?
I'm torn on it.
I know I did.
I love this thing.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to have, and if they didn't make it, I wouldn't be able to have one.
Right.
But it's fucked up, and so like I'm really conflicted. I'm torn on it. So I wouldn't be representing myself like true to myself if I was like they should not make this. So I guess that like raises the question. In the industry, all right, so that's different. Juice companies using really cartoony, like, I think that's terrible. Companies like Candy King and whoever else is doing it. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that because we're a vape company. I'm saying that because it's fucked up and it shouldn't happen. But this, I kind of feel different about. And I don't know which side of the fence I'm on with it. Because I like it. It's fucking cool, but it's also really shitty.
Well, it's unlike that car mouth to lung vape that we reviewed. This thing actually performs decent, unlike that thing that didn't perform at all.
And that had no cultural like representation. It was just a clear like market to kid.
Right.
This actually like it's kind of like you said. Like I grew up, Pokemon was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's cool. It's nostalgic and I like it, but the little car. Actually, I have it. Let's grab it for those of you who haven't seen it.
Yeah,
and
this
I
little.
Show you, Nip.
Yeah, and actually, did you actually put that video of your son in there?
Nip-oo, yeah.
Yeah, Nip-oo, here you go.
We'll show you guys first, and then so this is what we're talking about with this car mod, and so it's a mouth to lung pod system. So the cartridge goes like this. This is just a complete piece of shit garbage mod. Like it won't turn on. Sometimes it will. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll fire. Sometimes it won't.
It's extremely leaky.
Yeah, it leaks like a sieve. But it like the little LED lights light up in the back of the tail lights, and yeah, now it's just like on. Now it's just like I don't know what it's doing. But so that's what we're referring to about the little car mod. My son thought this was a Hot Wheels car. So, yeah, let's hand it over to you. You take a look at it. So
wow, it's
metal.
It's
yeah.
like really kind of like a. It really is
Are the
kind of
lights-
like a car.
It's not supposed to stay on like that, no. I don't know.
Oh, there's this engine start too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I didn't even notice that when we first did the video.
Yeah.
What, where it says engine start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a straight up
I mean,
car.
this really says,
Hot
hey,
Wheel
pick
car.
this up.
Right.
You know, smoke this.
Yeah.
Is
When I
this thing
was-
gonna
Hey.
explode?
No, maybe. I was at my house holding it, you know, when I was testing it, and my son was like, "That's a Hot Wheels car." Yeah. So that's fucked up. That is no point.
That's kind of like I mean, it has nothing to do with vaping or anything, but that's kind of like making toy guns look like real guns kind of thing. It's like, it looks like a toy, but it's not actually a toy.
right.
You know what I mean? So it's,
Yeah.
that's scary to put like in front. I don't have any kids, but that'd be scary to put in front of like my kid.
Especially because you're using a 24 to 50 milligram nicotine, high concentration that
Right.
could literally kill a child.
Well, also with that, it brings it to a point where, say what happened to Lewis with that mod where it got stuck.
Oh yeah.
What if that explodes on the kid and he doesn't know what he's doing? He's just playing with the Pokeball.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So I'm really torn, guys. I'm really torn. I'm not gonna, I mean, I am. I'm torn because I like it and I hate it at the same time. So I really, really am curious. Let me know in the comments or in chat. Let me know in the comments because I really want to like go through and see your opinions. I might not see it in chat right now, so let me know in the comments.
Amanda Jones is asking, what about the other end of the spectrum with mods like the Cool Fire 2 that looks like a grenade or the Smock Mag mod?
Right? Isn't there one that looks like a gun?
Yeah,
That's the
that's,
mag
yeah,
mod.
it's like
Yeah.
super hot right now.
The batteries eject out of the bottom.
Yeah, like a
real
clip.
mag.
Yeah.
Did you just go? What's that movie? Zoolander?
Zoolander?
Super hot right now.
It's super hot right now.
I don't really see anything wrong with them from an industry.
Don't you have to vape that one like?
No, it just like it just kind of looks like a gun handle.
looks like
and there's
a
like a
But where do you
trigger
vape it from?
just from the top. It just mounts
Right,
like
from
that.
like the.
No.
No.
The
Oh,
trigger,
okay.
the trigger's right here.
I was like, that's really messed
no,
up.
that's that sick fucking alien one that we vaped on at ECC. That one that was like a cannon. Remember that thing? Where you put the tube at the bottom?
Were we dosed at that point?
No, we were not dosed at that point.
I do not remember
that was when
that.
we were outside. Who's the Ant Vicious Ant. It was that Vicious Ant mod that
I
guy
wasn't
had.
there. I didn't.
Oh, you weren't there for
I
that
didn't
one?
do the vicious ant.
I think
Okay.
LSD
Oh,
tends
I
to like.
did,
Yeah,
Yes.
it was like that cannon, and he was like holding it like that and vaping it.
And yeah, that was weird. That was like a $400 mod, and it was stupid.
You can't even set it down like
yeah,
this.
yeah, you had to like put it on its side. That was a stupid mod.
I mean, I get like the novelty around like making silly things for something that you're always gonna be. You're doing a lot, right? So I get it, but like making it like gearing it towards kids is just
Right.
kind of like.
Right.
But I think with the intention of making that, I think they were definitely trying to go for like the older crowd with how Pokemon, like I said, you grew up with it. I don't know if they were trying to gear that. I think that one was geared towards like.
Honestly, I don't think
Kids.
it was thought about. I think
Yeah,
that
they
it was
maybe
probably
just
just some
made it.
Chinese company who was
Yeah.
like,
That's what I was gonna ask.
people
who
will
made
buy
that?
this. Yeah, probably some Chinese company. Like, doesn't
There's
actually say
no
on here.
labeling or trademarking
Yeah.
or any kind of anything to represent who made it.
I mean, maybe it's huge in Japan.
It probably is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they love that Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, but it was probably made in China. Yeah.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna take a look here in comments and see what's going on in
Was that what
chat.
it's called? The gripper mod? Is that what it's called?
That's what. Yeah, the group.
The mag.
No, the mag.
The mag,
The mag.
okay.
Yeah.
And then there's one that looks like a grenade as well.
A lot of people
I
are
think the
talking
grenade's
about.
not as bad. Because the grenade is just, it'd be kind of like having, isn't there brass knuckle ones too?
Oh, I think there are.
That's kind of just like, you know.
And it's like you can't buy a gun. You can't even buy a grenade, but you can't buy a gun unless you're 18 anyway.
Right,
so.
right. And even at that, you can't even buy a handgun.
Yeah, so this
He's
is
back.
Yeah, Tony B and the Voopoo thing has been like a raging hot issue in the chat.
I haven't even heard
I don't
of
know what it is, so guys, we'll watch it and we'll talk about it on the next live stream, but I don't even want to comment on it because I don't know anything about it.
What bottom? All right, so hold on. I want to know the gist of it at least.
I guess that he was working with Voopoo or working with another company to make a mod, and then something happened with Voopoo, and now people, I don't know, as soon as you were in the chat, people were like, boycott Voopoo. So Voopoo did something to fuck over Tony B.
Okay. I met Tony B at ECC. And yeah. Maybe we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Tony's vid, JFM, whether he signed a contract or not. All right, so here's the thing with contracts in China. They don't mean fucking shit. They're worth about as much as the paper they were written on. All right, so I'm really interested about this Tony B thing.
Yeah, we'll watch his video. Tony B made a video on it. That's what I was looking on my phone about.
Okay, so designing the thing together, Voopoo and Vape had agreed on everything. Then last minute, they want to charge more and more. Voopoo raised the price by 30% and still didn't deliver. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to look into this. Do we want to talk about... No, right, the fraud?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll watch that video for sure.
All right, so that's kind of disappointing to hear about Voopoo because I'm a huge fan of the Voopoo drag, like a massive, massive fan. Yeah. Oh, Voopoo's chip. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to. Oh, okay, I get it. So Voopoo's chip is supposed to go into something that Tony B and Vape were making, and they raised the price. I'm guessing.
Yeah, the Pulse 80
Yep,
watt.
there we go. Oh right, yeah, I saw the Pulse, the resin one that he was carrying around at ECC. Yeah, I'm sure Voopoo will. I'm sure they will make one. You know,
Everyone's making a squonk mod.
yeah. Oh, and they're stealing the design of the Pulse 80 watt. Well, you know, they all look the same, all squonk boxes. I mean, there's not much to steal. What's going on, Brad Collins? Thanks so much for joining, man. Use the Me Pod, please. Go ahead, use the Me Pod. Now they're cloning it. So is it going to be like a direct replica? I'm sure they'll change it. I mean, I don't know enough to
it's
say
an
what's
Elvish.
going on or anything like that, but is Voopoo? Voopoo's a Chinese company, right? They're not
Yeah.
American based.
They're Chinese.
Yeah.
Did you get that just straight from the factory like that? Or did you
Yeah,
see
this
the
is like a
box?
special
Pretty
edition or
much.
something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks
One
like a
vape to
drug
roll them all.
utensil. I'm not really sure, Lou, what you're
really wanna
talking
get one
about
of
on
those.
that one, but teapot one is pretty lame. You
I've
ever
never
hear about
seen
that?
it, no.
No.
Pulse 80 watt did look good.
Yeah, I mean, really, the designs for mods, I mean, unless you're looking at something like a mag or the grenade one, they all look pretty much the same.
And they all, I mean, it's
The
just a reason.
rectangle, yeah.
They function well. They sit in your hand well. I mean, you don't really need to redesign the wheel.
Right. There are some differences, I guess. You know, like if we take a look at these two by Vaporesso, these definitely have different shapes and styles to them, like this guy. And I'll be doing a review on both of these, but this comes off, which is pretty cool. So I guess you can put different styles, different colors on them.
Also has a front button instead of a side button.
Yeah, which is I actually really like. I didn't think I was gonna like that, but I turned out I really did. And then this guy has a touch screen. Well, sort of. Like the buttons are here and the menu button's down here. I've been using this a lot. You can see how beat up it is.
I feel like a traitor because I have a smock mod.
fingerprint. Fuck
I had.
Smok.
I
I've
was using
never
the
even
alien.
used a Smok device. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I used that Smok tank you have, and it was complete garbage.
Yep. And so is that alien. The alien broke on me after 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, I should probably actually give them a chance before I really start slamming them, but from what I hear, it's pretty much garbage,
And
and
the
it's like
little
one of the
that I've
most
used.
popular like starter kit brands.
And those TFV8s and the TFV4s and the TFV12s
And the Baby Beast and the Prince and the little Baby Beast and the mini ultra slim fat Baby Beast and the, you know.
That's basically what they sold me on. It was like when I went in, I didn't know anything about vapes. I was just like, give me something cool. I was like, oh, a gold tank. I'm going to take that too. You know what I mean? Oh, that's touchscreen? Hell yeah. I'm going to do that.
With
So I can look ultra douchey when I do this.
How long have you had that thing?
Maybe a year and a half or so.
That's actually kind of impressive.
Especially for a touchscreen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the type of person that keeps like the protectors on it. Like the thing is still on there.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
see
I
it,
mean?
yeah.
So it's,
Is it? Let me see that.
No, don't hand it to me.
I thought about it too. I was
I
like,
almost fell for it.
no, but I wanted to try drip, but then again, that's not something that I don't think I could do while streaming. You know what I mean? Because then I'll have to be dripping all the time.
Right.
You know,
You should
that's why I was
try
looking
an
more.
RTA,
Huh?
a rebuildable tank.
Rebuildable tank atomizer.
You get the flavor of a dripper with the convenience of a tank.
I think this
fucking
one does
awesome.
that.
No, it does. Oh,
You
there
can,
might.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Probably
you can
barrels in 'em.
build it and everything in there. Well, they sell the coil. You just put the cotton in it or something like that.
Right. Yeah, it is still different though, because
Yeah.
those ones are specifically made to run coils in them.
A good RTA will change your life.
A good RTA is really great, but there are a lot of shitty RTA. I guess a lot of shitty vape products out there in general, so shouldn't really just slam RTAs.
But that's why I wanted to go to that. I feel like if I go to that, it's gonna be a lot better for me. And if
your
I just want to like
webcam.
throw out clouds, I can just use this. But you know,
Right.
with
If you go to that with the way that you vape and you try to do a 20 or a 24, you're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, you could do like a 6.
An Abyss. If you run Abyss in that at a 3 or a 6, you no
Actually might be
problem
great.
all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's clean, so it's not gonna kill your coil.
yeah.
One of the cool things about these too is they come with these little like rubber things that go around them, and you could literally like load up like 4 of them. And while you're streaming, like if you like run out
Yeah,
of
see,
juice
that's
in
a
it, you
good
can
point.
just pull that out and put another one in.
Yeah.
And you can still reuse them and still refill them afterwards. But
Yeah.
that way you're not having to like, all right, now I gotta get this little tiny plastic piece out, and now I gotta make sure the needle goes in there, and I gotta fill it up. No, you just have
See,
them
I'll
all
tell
ready
you
to
what,
go.
Most people don't fill them like a crackhead though, so I don't know what Lewis is doing, but
I'll tell you.
That was me in a hurry.
I'll tell you though from experience, the bad thing about having the office that I have with this style of vape, this is another reason why I wanted to go to this, is because since I do put out so much smoke, one, the office is kind of like this. It gets coated in the smoke, right? And after a while, that film, you know, it rests on your keyboard. It rests on everything. So cleaning is huge.
What do you do to protect your computer?
I have actually, you know, it's actually pretty genius. I have a dehumidifier right behind my computers.
Oh.
So it sucks. The way I built my computers is my exhaust fan is huge, and it just puts out all the air that it brings in. So the smoke goes in the computer and out, so it doesn't have time to rest.
Right.
So since it goes out, it goes right into the dehumidifier.
Oh. So you have the vapor go through the computer before it hits the
I would do
dehumidifier?
it
Well,
the other way around.
It kind of,
'Cause that
I don't blow it
shit's
towards my
sticking.
computers.
Right.
You know, so if it is around the computers, it does, you know, some residual is going to go into the computer.
Right.
But if it does go in the computer, it'll
Blow it right
blow
out.
it right out. Yeah.
Okay.
But the dehumidifier, I mean, it works wonders.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, my office is normally like this.
Right.
It's cloudy in here, and you know, and it just rests. The horrible part is, like, because I recently moved, all of my cables, all like everything, you have to just take a washcloth and just
Has that
strip it all off.
slimy.
It just,
Yeah.
my girlfriend hates it,
imagine
dude.
if
She
you're
will
in a
not clean my
tiny
room.
room.
She will not do anything in there. She won't even sit in there. She's like, just, you know, what are you doing? And I've got a pretty expensive setup,
Yeah.
you know, so cleaning is necessary for sure.
Right, absolutely.
The keyboard, dude, you can see all the the vape spots in there, so I have to pull all the keys out and.
Right.
But I mean, that's why I wanted to go with something like that because it doesn't kick out as much.
It
That's
does
a
not.
great solution
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
You can, I mean, you could even like ghost these hits too, so that way you're just absorbing it yourself.
Right.
you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I try to sometimes, but I've found out that keeping the door open and keeping the window open is the best solution for me right now.
Absolutely.
I was actually thinking about going towards that tank, and
Kicks out a lot of vapor still though.
well,
Yeah.
the other thing is keeping my wattage down because my batteries always die.
Oh, right.
I mean, I'm changing batteries like
You should
once a day.
get a 3 battery mod.
I'm just gonna have to hit you guys up and just be like, can you just give me something that I need? Like, just let me know what I need to buy, and I'm just gonna buy it.
They
Because,
also
like,
have
it's
4
just-
battery mods, and depending on
yeah.
what type of battery you're using, you'll get more life out of it. 25 hours. Oh god.
What
Yeah,
what did I do to it?
Nothing. They look good.
Okay.
You're using 25 hours. That's a good battery all around. But you can use something like this, the LG GH2s. They have really great life. I use those for my regulated mods because you get better battery life out of them.
I mean, I'm killing. But that's the thing. Since that kicks out the same amount of smoke as this does, this tank, but I'm here on 153, and that's on 80. So my
Right.
batteries are just. I mean, sometimes it'll read half, but then it'll say battery low.
Right, because
You
it
know,
can't give you that
'cause
much
it can't,
wattage.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the LGs or the HG2s. I think it's Sony, actually.
So basically, what you're saying is just get
No,
rid of my tank
Is
completely.
LG?
Yeah, LG GH2s. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those ones have 3,000 milliamp hours, right? Versus 2,500 milliamp hours,
Correct.
which is the ones you're using. So get some more, and then you could get a 3 battery mod, like the Relo.
And a 4 battery
or
was Mac.
I don't even know what that thing's called.
Me either.
Actually, I don't even know if it's any good.
I'm pretty sure it's pretty good, but it's obnoxious to carry around
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, I don't really want to,
It is like, you would be like carrying like this.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
But if you're just sitting around, it's a good like stream mod
Yeah.
for sure.
I could have a stream mod and I
Carrying around.
You will not. I mean, like every single day, you'll get somebody come in and say, "Oh yeah, Vape Nation, dog, Vape Nation." I'm like,
Yes, we are vaping in the
yes,
nation.
we are. Yeah. They're like, "Far out, bro." I'm like, they're like, "What are you smoking in that?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not
Is
smoking
that
weed,
weed, bro?
Yeah, is that weed?
Oh, man.
Such is life.
But that's what I mean. But that's why I contacted Lewis in the first place, to be honest with you, because I did have so many people that came in to stream and they were always really interested on what I was vaping, and I was like, you know what? I mean, you could definitely get some sort of advertisement out of this. So I was
Right.
like, screw it. I'm just gonna send out an email, and it worked.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And then I went to PAX, and then now it's growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so
Got Pete
so
in there.
crazy.
Yeah. So are you doing any of the South by Southwest gaming stuff, or are you decided
I'm
against
not,
it?
no.
You don't
Yeah,
even do the parties or anything?
Honestly, the one thing that I wanted to do was buy a new microphone and a new camera this week, and I was like, you know what? Should I stay in Austin for 3 days, or should I buy a new camera and a microphone?
Right.
So bought a new microphone.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean-
How much? What was the microphone you got?
SM7B.
Oh, you got the SM7B. Oh, that thing is so sweet.
That's the one Joe Rogan uses.
Yeah, it's the one that H3 uses. It's the one all these guys
What
use.
Michael Jackson used to record Thriller.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Really?
It's an excellent microphone, but I didn't want to spend $400.
Well, these ones are
on
really good for
microphones.
what you're doing.
Right. That's
For
true.
what you're doing, it's very directional.
And
Right.
So
it
it's-
works for all the other video stuff that we do.
Right.
Yeah.
It's multi-platform. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they sound fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
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 No, that's what I mean. Like I said, whenever I went to PAX South, it was insane the way it happened. Because I just walked in and I was like, "Look, there's guys vaping outside."
Yeah.
And I walked outside and I was like, "How you guys doing?" And I noticed and I was like, "Oh, you're smoking Hometown Hero."
Right.
And I was like, "Well, would you ever be interested in being an influencer for Hometown Hero?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I popped him an email and I was like, "Hey,
Awesome.
these guys want to rep your shit, so let's do it."
Yeah.
And then he had his friends, and it turned into a pyramid scheme, and now I'm making millions of dollars. It's crazy.
Ponzi schemes.
Somebody will make 50 sales one day.
But it's crazy the fact that so many gamers actually vape.
Yeah.
Like so many gamers.
Right.
And like
Of course they do.
you'll go on Twitch and like people are vaping everywhere. Like Sequisha. Like the dude averages, 3,000 to 14,000 people every stream. And he's vaping and he's not shy about it. He just lets people know, what he's vaping, what mod he's on, And I was like, dude, you need to hit him up because if you get somebody like that, that's 14,000 people that know that you're vaping Hometown Hero.
Right.
And that's insane. So it could skyrocket pretty quickly, I think. Especially with all the new flavors coming out too.
Right.
And they're just awesome flavors
Yeah.
too. It's not like we're trying to pump garbage. Everything's delicious.
Yeah.
Buy Hometown Hero.
And with that pleasant note, we're gonna wrap it up. And dude, that's been awesome. We have Nip Slip in the house.
Christ, dude.
Thank you so much for being
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
Yeah, this has been great. And yeah, all right. To reiterate, let us know, please. What?
Other
do you
camera.
want?
You're on B.
Oh. All right, let us know. Let us know. Use the form in the description or just leave it in the comments what kind of topics and segments and stuff you want to see. Simple form, just fill it out. It'd be really, really appreciated. We want to provide you guys with what you want to see. Also, somebody please fill me in about this Voopoo thing. I'm going to read back in the comments, try to figure it out, but I'm also really curious about that. Opinions on the Pokeball, definitely leave those in the comments.
If you've used the Falcon and the mesh, then
Yeah,
let
let's
us know which one you prefer and why.
Yeah, we're really curious. We'd love to hear your guys' feedback. Check the links in the description. You can find that guy if you watch Twitch. Definitely go follow him. He's really entertaining. Use his coupon code.
Exactly. You don't have to follow me. Just use my coupon code.
And yeah, so that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching the Kill Show. Cole, what are we going
We're calling
with?
Kill. We're calling Kill.
Watch the Kill Show. Maybe not.
I like it.
Maybe not, though. Maybe not.
You're gonna end up on some sort of FBI watch list.
Yeah,
Here.
maybe,
I'm already
maybe
on
not.
plenty of those, so that's another one.
Maybe not. But all right, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central Time. Thanks for watching.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Trigger
Make
those
sure-
bells so you get alerted every time he goes live.
Exactly right. Press the bell so you get notified because YouTube's been real fucked up with their notifications lately. And that's about it, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.